You're listening to the Epically Geeky Show, a place for all things geeky.
Welcome out to the Epically Geeky Show, episode number 86. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. Tonight's opening question is, if you had a cartoon sidekick, who would you want? A talking dog, B, a sentient car, C, a dumb yet loyal stoner, or D, a robot monkey? Ray.
Can you go over those again?
Absolutely. If you could have a cartoon sidekick, what would you pick? A talking dog, B, a sentient car, C, a dumb yet loyal stoner, or D, a robot monkey?
I got to go with the car.
Okay. Any particular reason?
Sentient car. Well, just because I've always wanted like
Shelby.
Yeah, like a Shelby, GT 500. It's
yeah.
an awesome car, and yeah, like that would be awesome to have something that was a sentient as well as an awesome vehicle to drive. So now here's the key: would it let me drive if it was sentient? That'd be the hard part.
I would assume so.
Like Knight Rider, right?
Yeah,
Knight Rider,
that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah,
it can drive if it has to, but it prefers the human drives. Then I'm okay with it.
Okay, Chris, which would you pick?
Probably I don't know. All of them for different reasons, though. I think the dog, because I talk to my dog anyway, and sometimes I wish he could talk back.
Right.
The car, because then I would let it drive on the highway or perilous driving that I didn't want to do.
Right.
The stoner, because sometimes they have profound thoughts.
Sometimes
when you're like
they can really help
super
out.
high, you see things super clearly.
Uh-huh.
And then the monkey, because that just freaked people out. That'd be cool.
So which one are you going with?
I have no idea.
Do I need to come back to you?
I would be the sidekick. I think that's the thing. Like, I don't see myself as the one with the sidekick.
So
I'm the
would
sidekick.
you be the stoner sidekick?
Probably.
You know what? That's an acceptable answer. We will take that. Jennifer, which would you take?
I think I'd go with the car. It seems the most useful, and given that I'm not really an animal person, that knocks out two of them. And I wouldn't have the patience for the stoner, probably, if they were, as you described, stupid. So
right. The guy on the couch.
The guy.
Yeah, but a car would be useful, and given that I'm not an aggressive driver, I don't think that I would do well in like high stress situations with that. So yeah,
right.
The car would work.
I definitely have to go sentient car, mainly because I immediately ruled out talking dog because of this week. We have a basset hound, and she's getting older, and she's gotten to where when she wants something, she will not stop until she has it. Like she not growls, but just kind of like goes roar, roar, and like talks to you and you're like, what do you want? Do you want a treat? Do you want more food? Do you want outside? What is it you want? And she won't shut up until she gets it. So talking dog, no, I'm done with talking dogs at this point. Yeah, the stoner would probably drive me insane after a while. Robot monkey might be kind of cool, but sentient car, like I'm already like maybe I don't know if my next car would be, but I can't wait to get a car that I can go, take me to work and just like read or,
hey, they're coming.
Play video games.
Self-driving cars are coming.
Oh yeah, they're here. It's just I can't afford one yet. So
right, but I mean they're coming in mass. They're going to be more of them on the road than.
Which I'm not.
You like driving
I
though.
do.
That's the thing. You really enjoy driving.
I'm going to be the asshole with a gas guzzling car that.
What will end up happening is you're going to end up being that far lane, and you're going to be like, oh God, this sucks, and everyone else will be like a foot apart, and traffic is flowing completely fine, and yeah, that's the future I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I would be happy with that. You would be.
Screw that. I'd give me.
You enjoy driving a lot, though.
Yeah, I would be the guy that goes into another. Like, I'd go a different drive, some offbeat path, and like just drive, man.
Oh, yeah. For me then.
Yeah, that'd be. Yeah. Anyway.
We're talking about different cars here in the chat room. It looks like I see Flintstone's car, Jetson's car. The Munsters had a badass car. Well, tonight's topic is something that I've wanted to do. In fact, this is one of the original ideas I came up with. Is that water or vodka, Ray?
Water.
Okay.
Not moonshine. Don't worry.
All right.
I gotta work. I gotta get up here.
That's a nice. I was just saying that's a cool bottle to be drinking water out of. So, tonight's topic I actually came up with like all the way back when we wanted to start doing the show. Yes, I have a spreadsheet that I keep track of all the show stuff with. So, yeah. So I came out with this idea, and I wanted to try to explain some different cartoon logic. And the one that I used as an example, I'm actually going to use as my first one. And that is Thomas the Tank Engine. Now, my boys have actually moved past Thomas the Tank Engine. Do what?
Yay!
Yay! Yeah. They've moved past Thomas the Tank Engine. Occasionally, they will still kind of play with some of the tractors, some of the toys, or whatever. And on rare occasion, they'll watch an episode. But for the most part, they've kind of left Thomas behind. And I'm not completely sad about that, to be honest with you. But for those of you who have never watched Thomas the Tank Engine, started off being it was, I say live action, it was actually done with like very large scale terrains and everything else, and of course now it's completely CG. But the thing about that I never understood about on this show was yes, it is a cartoon for children and the main characters are the trains, unlike a Michael Bay movie about Transformers where the main characters are humans. But anyway, the main characters are trains. And they all, even though you can tell that some of them are older, there are older engines, there are younger engines, there are male engines, there are female engines. They all have the mentality of an elementary school kid because they keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. It's the same type of thing. And I'm like, why? Like, why would you not want to make your engines smarter than this? And so I'm throwing that out there. Does anyone have any theories as to why now I already have a theory, but as to why they would want to keep keep these large mechanical, modes of transportation that do, the work around this little island. Why would you want to keep it at, an elementary level?
Because they need to keep having shows to air.
Okay. Yes, that's perfectly acceptable.
As in for the universe, I was actually going to spin off you did put your theory out there, and I'm going to say it's very similar to having a dog. Dogs are easy to train because they're that intelligence level of a toddler or slightly older than a toddler, and so if you keep them a little bit below your intelligence level, they're easier to control. If you get them to be loyal, they're so that's my theory in the cartoon world anyway, which is I think similar to what you were saying.
My theory when I thought about this was if I was living in this world, why would you build a train to be at this level of intelligence? To me, comes down to you don't want the fucking things to take over, because if they have a childlike mindset. And the mayor, the one who runs I guess he's technically not the mayor. He's in charge of the Sir Topham Hatt. He's in charge of all the trains. Yeah. Whenever he comes down on them, they've been punished and they feel bad and they listen to him and they do exactly what they're told, like a child would. And I'm like, if these things were a little bit smaller, or smarter, or a little bit more mature, they'd be like, fuck you. I'm like 10 tons of steel. I'm not listening to you.
Step on my track, you asshole.
Exactly. I think they're keeping the trains at that level because they don't want them to take over. That's the only thing to me that makes sense is in that world, like that's that was the mindset, was like, listen, we can't make these things to where they're going to take over, because obviously we can't stop them once they get going. So
they saw Terminator and they didn't want to create Skynet. So
exactly, and that's exactly what Sean said in the chat. He said Thomas equals Skynet. So
there you go.
And what's funny is to bring this real world is a lot of people have talked about, if we created an intelligence, artificial intelligence, what would it be like? And most people are starting to agree, well, it would be like a child at first, because you'd have to teach it. Now it's going to accelerate extremely fast, probably, but it would still be like a child. And when we first get this thing up and going, we got to make sure, like a child, you pour in the right ingredients, hey, respect and life is, a good thing. And
you can play chess, apparently, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So
just play chess with itself over and over and over again.
Have y'all ever heard the theory about AI? It's not extremely super intelligent AI that some people are afraid of. It's the ballpoint. I think it's called the ballpoint pen theory. And it's that these AIs are going to start being, so that companies can purchase them and get them to do stuff. And some people are afraid that an AI would be like a very simple AI would be purchased to make ballpoint pens. And I mean, literally you tell it, listen, here's how you make a ballpoint pen. Your job is to figure out what is the most cost-effective way to make a ballpoint pen. And giving it such a simplified direction to go and no other limitations, they're afraid that's the type of AI that would end up killing us, because it would be like, well, okay, I can do this and it will shave cost and this will make it faster. And if I didn't have humans in the way, then I could do this faster. And if I did this and this, and eventually that's how we run into trouble. It's not going to, like I said, it's not going to be this super AI that, we've, are pouring all this time and energy into. It's going to be someone's little pet thing that they weren't thinking fully about, or just like, oh yeah, hey, figure out how to make pens the most efficient way. And hey, it kills off all humanity, but it can make a ballpoint pen in 5 seconds and cost, less than a penny. So I thought that was an interesting thing when I had heard about it. I was like, okay. Would anyone like to go next?
Sure.
All right, Ray. What's the first cartoon logic we want to try to explore?
Well, this one bothered me when I was a kid, because I was always kind of curious as to why this always happened, but I need to know the reason why the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles wear the masks. They're 4 turtles. Pretty sure we know which ones they are from their weapons. Why the fuck are they wearing masks?
Okay. Let's think about this. I'm guessing because Splinter is classically trained and trained them to.
Yeah, but ninjas cover their entire face. They don't cover.
Yeah, it's falling apart there. You're absolutely right.
They're naked. You saw them without the mask. They look creepy as fuck.
What was that, Jen?
What, Jen?
They look creepy as fuck without their masks. So
okay, well, the Michael Bay version one, no, that's a damn good point. Like, I don't. And what's funny is in the original comic book, they all wore red. Like, they didn't wear different colors. That was in the cartoon.
Yep.
Chat room, do y'all have any theories? Why did the Ninja Turtles wear masks? There's absolutely no fucking reason for them to.
I've been trying to come up with a reason, and I went down the whole class, but no, ninjas would cover their entire face, and other than
they stick out no matter what you do. They're four huge fucking bipedal.
The only reason that I can think of,
okay,
is that maybe it keeps the sweat out of their eyes.
You can get turtles sweat? Do turtles sweat though? That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Their body's self-regulating and adjusts to them, right? They're reptiles. I don't know.
Cartoon logic. Woo!
Yay! Yeah, Sean, I'm not that much of a dumbass, because they're, other than you can tell them apart by their weapons. You know which one it is by their weapons.
And Mikey's the littlest one.
Yeah.
Turtles do not sweat and do not have sweat glands.
Aha!
So I don't know.
Maybe the mutant turtles do have sweat glands.
Maybe. I mean, they do have human-like eyes and can talk.
They are.
So they grew these sweat glands, and in order to prevent the sweat from getting their eyes, which are totally not used to sweat at all, they come up with this so that they can protect
He's more
their eyes.
concerned about why they're wearing masks than why they can talk and walk upright. And
Well, that's mutagen. That's clearly.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
There's an obvious reason behind that one.
Right. Yeah.
It's the masks that have driven me nuts.
That's a damn good point. Like,
I'm gonna keep him up all night now.
yeah, it is. I can't think because I can't really think of a reason why that would be. So, except to tell them apart. But like you said, you can, their weapons, and I mean, their personality is very clear. I mean, their voices are also different. Yeah.
Just say it.
It's got to be a fashion statement. The only thing I can come up with is they've decided it's a fashion statement, even though I don't think Raph would go along with it. Maybe just, I don't know.
Raph would, he'd be the one not wearing it at all.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Fuck this." Like he'd still have the belt on just to hold the side, but that would be it.
That'd be it.
Yeah.
And each one of them have the and there goes your theory of the whole identification as well. Each one of them has an R or a D or whatever on their belt.
True.
Pardon me. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Maybe they're gifts from Splinter, and that's why they wear them, because that would cause Raph to wear it. Like, a gift from his sensei, he would be like, okay, I will wear this. But otherwise, I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to Google something.
It looks cool. They are teenagers. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad logic, Sean. I mean, as much as teenagers, I still think they're prescription mask.
Is that Sean?
Oh, that was Ryan, actually.
Oh, okay.
Ryan said they look cool and they are teenagers. And, as much as teenagers, I'm going to be different and stand out. Yeah, they end up all just dressing alike.
The same thing. That's true.
Yeah, so
one of them put it on one day. Mm-hmm. Probably Mikey put it on.
Oh, it was definitely Mikey.
The others didn't want to tell him that it was cool. So they're like, oh, well, we'll just all wear it.
That sounds good enough to me as anything else.
If they start dabbing, though, I'm done with the turtle.
Oh, Quinn loves to do that. That's like his favorite.
Not handle
it. Especially because it pisses his sister off.
Yes, it does.
Oh, well, that's why he's doing it then.
Well, that and he just really likes doing it. He's a little bit.
Oh, well, there you go.
Little behind. Yeah, that's okay.
He's not hip. He tries.
Chris, do you have what's the first cartoon logic you'd like us to tackle?
Okay. Donald Duck. He walks around with no pants and a shirt. But when he gets out of the shower, he has a towel around his waist. And when he goes to the beach, he wears a swimsuit, like a full body.
Oh my God, you're right.
What the fuck? Like, why?
And to top it off, if he gets shirtless for some reason, he covers his
junk.
Oh my God, you're right.
So why? What's the big deal? He walks around with his ass out anyway, but he's got the shirt on, so it's okay.
And see, that's what I don't understand. So Mickey Mouse walks around with pants and no shirt.
Yes.
Donald walks around with shirt and no pants, and Goofy's completely covered.
Yes.
Yes. What's Goofy hiding?
I don't want to know.
Wow. I was thinking about something, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so that always baffled me. Scrooge McDuck does it too. Like I just never understood the whole. He walks around with just a blue shirt on and nothing on bottoms, but then when he gets out of the shower or anything like that, he's covers himself up. It's like him.
And see, I thought the same thing of Daisy, but if you look at her feathers, it looks like she's kind of got like bloomers on or something.
Yeah,
so
same with Minnie.
Yeah.
Minnie looks like she's got.
Yeah.
Minnie wears bloomers too.
So Goofy's covered, the girls are covered, but not the guy. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just a fashion thing. Like maybe he's just like, yep, here's my dick.
Yeah, but that's the thing though.
It makes no sense.
If you're okay with that with a shirt on, but as soon as you take your shirt off, you're not okay with it.
See, you're right. That's the hard part. And I completely forgot it. As soon as you said when he goes in the water, he's wearing a swimsuit. I'm like, oh my God, you're right. He is wearing a
full, like one of those
it's a full-on
old-timey full bathing suits.
Yes.
The duck.
That covers everything. And suddenly he needs to wear that to the beach. But like walking down the street, he's just wearing his little blue sailor shirt and nothing else. He doesn't even wear shoes. And his hat. He's got his little hat too.
See, Xavier brings up, or Xavier says, and Pluto wears nothing. That's been my biggest question in that universe.
And Goofy and Pluto are dogs.
We'll get into that.
Yes. Why is but no, I don't know. There's
no.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just cartoon logic. You just accept it.
The only thing I can think of is maybe borrowing from the Looney Tunes universe. You know how sometimes like they would like, but no, then why would he still cover up? I'm like, that's
exactly. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
Because I was gonna say maybe the feathers act as the clothing, but then why would I don't know. I don't know. I'll put that one out there, and I don't know. See if anyone else can come up with an idea. But I think you got a stumper for us there. That one doesn't just
think about it. Mm-hmm.
That one doesn't make sense. So, Jen, what was the first cartoon logic you wanted us to discuss?
Okay, so I'm going to preface this with I don't watch a lot of TV, and I haven't in a long time kept up with shows. So things that I bring up may already have been addressed, but. The first one I have is it's an adult cartoon, South Park, and there's a lot of things we could talk about in that show, but Kenny dies every single episode, and then he's back the next episode, and everybody's just fine. It's just like, well, my God, you killed Kenny, and then he's back. So maybe that's explained at some point, but I don't recall it ever being explained or addressed. They
kind of touched it in one episode. There was an episode at the end of the episode where Kenny's mom gives birth to another baby, and it looks just like Kenny, and they call it Kenny. But then why did the kids not age, and this other kid's able to accelerate his age up? But
and that was my other thing. They never age. Nothing. Like all these things happen. They've been out for almost 20 years, and they've never aged. So, but that's the common thing in cartoons.
So could it be just because Kenny dies? Could Kenny be kind of stuck in the same day, very similar to what Bill Murray is in Groundhog's Day, where he just, it being different every time instead of the same because, butterfly effect?
Maybe.
It could be. I mean, do any of the episodes specific? Yeah, some of the episodes do build off of each other because Chef dies and they go on and know that Chef is dead.
But they always have like current events mixed in there.
Sure.
What if it's like The Prestige and Kenny's just a clone?
That's not a bad idea.
There you go.
I was thinking multiple universes. I was thinking this is more like an anthology type thing, and we're literally taking a slice of life in multiple universes.
I like that one.
I like that one. Yeah, where this is just all the ways that Kenny dies.
Exactly.
Every day potential.
He never makes it past 10. He just dies at 10.
Every episode we're just watching slightly different, progressed timeline, but in multiple different universes.
Yeah.
So, I like that one. There, we came up with thank you. You
can go to sleep on that one now, so that's a good one. That was a good one though. Like, why the fuck does Kenny die every time?
Yeah.
So, the next one I want to address is also another staple, one that's commonly asked and talked about. Why is it everyone's okay with Scooby-Doo talking? Like, not every animal in that universe talks. Like Scooby, Scrappy, and like a couple of his family members can talk, but the other animals can't talk.
Is there mutant dogs or?
She's got a theory.
What's that? What's your theory, Chris?
Well, no, because really it's only Shaggy who really interacts with Scooby. And
each of them a little bit.
A little bit, but it's mostly Shaggy.
Yes.
It's usually him and Shaggy.
And I'll explain a little bit.
Right, no, but it's just Shaggy is so high all the time is that he has hallucinated Scooby as that because he's just so high on whatever it is.
So you think we're seeing the series through Shaggy's viewpoint?
Yes, and he's just so lit up constantly.
That's a good theory.
That's what he sees.
That is a good theory.
Because I've been high enough where it's like
the dogs start talking.
So you could spin that as that's all he sees. The other part of that too is the other people can hear Scooby as well because they're in the van. And I mean,
hot box.
Oh yeah.
Contact high. There you go. Uh-huh.
That makes sense. I can go with that one. So, because otherwise I'm just like, people are just like, hey, I'm I've got a mystery to solve. Something's happening to my amusement park and I got to figure out what it is. Oh, hey, a bunch of kids showed up in a van. That's kind of odd. There's a fucking talking dog. Really? Fuck the amusement park.
That bugged me was they always like find out who does it and then it's someone else. It's like always a double reveal, but they never, remember that that's always the case.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
So speaking of that,
well, that plays back into Chris's high theory. They fucking get high all the time and like they're like, oh shit, this was a new thing to happen. No, happened last week.
The original That 70s Show.
Well, and I was gonna say one of the questions that came up was why are they always scared? Like Scooby and Shaggy in particular are always scared of the monsters, even though they prove that they are false every fucking time.
Because being high can make you paranoid.
And that goes along with it.
I thought I was dying one time, right? Like legit thought I was dying. So,
I think weed is probably the best. This has to be the best reasoning for this is weed. Yeah. That's all there's to it.
Playing a big joke on us, the writers.
Just high.
They're just high.
Just high, man.
That's hilarious.
Smoking good shit.
That's a good one. I like that one. All right, Ray, what's your next one?
All right, so the next one, I do have a theory for it, but I don't have a full theory, and I'll explain why here. So, why animals in particular are using headphones that are clearly designed for humans. So the examples will be the rabbit and Aardvark from Arthur, right? So they are, whenever they wear headphones, it is clearly where a human ear would be, but their ears are on the top of their head.
On the top, yeah. Okay.
And I do have a theory for that one.
It wasn't a good one.
It's bone induction. No, it's bone induction. No. Bone induction. We have proven it. I can wear headphones at the on the top of my jaw. It goes into my inner ear. I can hear it. That's fine. So we can get around that one.
I think it was the other one that I didn't like.
The other one that I can't figure out is why Mr. Crab from SpongeBob, wears them on his eyes and he can hear. What the fuck is that about?
He wears them on his eyes.
Picture, yeah. There's a picture of like a meme, I think, or something, and he's got his headphones on, but they're like attached to balls because his eyes stick like up above his head.
Right. Yes.
Place them on his eyes.
Do crabs have ears though? Where are their ears?
Oh,
I don't know.
We need to look that up.
Like,
are you looking that up now? Where's a crab's ears? Does a crab have ears?
Do crabs have ears? I'm gonna see.
Do crabs have ears?
Fish have ears.
This is going in my permanent Google history.
I know, right?
Crabs. It'll save you on Trivial Pursuit night. It'll come up.
Yeah.
I'm not even worried about my my permanent Google history. So no, they do not have ears.
On Google, so
do they have ears?
No.
According to this, they do not have ears.
They do not have ears, but they can detect sound. The hollow hairs on the outside of their bodies pick up vibrations. So if he does have little hairs on his eye stalks, then I guess technically it would work.
Like maybe.
Yeah.
Sure.
That would work, but it doesn't explain really Arthur or his friend.
Bone induction.
SpongeBob, of all the cartoons,
I like the bone induction.
Most scientifically and anatomically correct.
They're just terrible.
No.
Yep.
That one's interesting.
At least make it made for the animal that you're making them
exactly.
With.
Yeah.
If you're creative enough to have a talking rabbit, and with the ears up,
a talking aardvark.
A talking aardvark, right? Or a talking crab. If you can figure all that out, figure out how to make them have headphones that work for them. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's just because kids don't really pick up. Well, maybe they do, and they just really don't care.
Sure, they do.
They probably just don't care.
No, they don't give a fuck.
That's what's funny is I guarantee you there's a kid that's asked their parent, "Why are the headphones on the eyes, mommy?"
Just watch it.
Just shut up.
Exactly. Yeah. He has a horrible mom that was just like, "Shut up." One of us as a parent would have been like, "I don't know. That's a good question." What's your next logic puzzle for us, Chris?
So this one, it still bugs me. So in the movie or in the story Cinderella, Prince Charming thinks that Cinderella is the love of his life, and he's fallen right in love with her. But the moment she is out of his sight, he forgets what she looks like and has to go around the entire kingdom trying on that stupid shoe on every woman until it fits the perfect one. He still doesn't. Oh yeah. Oh, now I reckon it. No, doesn't remember what she looks like. Also,
she's all dirty and stuff.
Still, but her face still. It's still her. And then, so when the fairy godmother zhuzhes Cinderella up and all of the mice and the pumpkin and everything like that before midnight, it all works. And then after midnight, everything goes back to normal except for the shoes. Yeah. So why would the shoes not count? Why wouldn't they disappear?
That's a really good point.
Initially, I would think because she made the shoes out of nothing and everything else. No, everything was they were translated or transferred from another shoe. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And the dress was too, and it disappears in the back into what it was.
So that always bugged me. Still does. It's like, especially mostly Prince Charming. Like, really, dude? Really?
My only theory on that one is, well, I've got two theories. The first theory is there have been some people that, in particular, I heard a story. This guy was blind, and they were able to, through some experimentation and through some different surgeries, they were basically able to give him most of his sight back. Okay. But one of the things is the part of his brain that's normally associated with sight, of course, was trained differently. And while he can see people and he sees someone's face, but he can't recognize it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has no like face permanence, I guess to say. So I don't know. Maybe a backstory of this is maybe he's got that going on for him. Something like that. The other thing I was thinking was maybe he's just like stupid, really racist or really sexist and just think all women and or white women look the same. I don't know. Maybe he's just
a dipshit and she should run away.
Probably so.
Like she does in Into the Woods.
Yes. That's how it should
the alternate version.
I love that movie. I don't watch it for Cinderella. I watch it for the mice.
Yeah.
That was it. That's all I had about Cinderella.
Sai says maybe it's because she dropped one.
But wouldn't it still, because she...
The fact that it was separate from everything else.
Yeah, but she still has the other shoe, though.
It stays.
Because the stepmother
breaks. But she is
breaks.
carrying it, so because maybe she or because they weren't a pair, they had to disappear as a pair.
I don't know.
I still don't know about that one. That one's, That
one's...
I'm still betting on Prince Charming's a dipshit, though. I like that one. I like that theory. That's a good one. So, Jen, what's your next one?
Mine's another adult cartoon. So why does Stewie have an English accent in Family Guy? And nobody else in his damn family does. And it's like they can understand him sometimes, but it's selective. So like they can't understand him when he's trying to take over the world, and I don't know. And then he says something and she's like, how cute, and they're oblivious to the fact that he's got an arsenal in his playpen.
Maybe we're watching the whole show from Stewie's side of things, very much like Shaggy, but he's just babbling, like when babies babble at you all the time, and they're telling you something, and they're telling you something real because in their head it's there.
Oh yeah, they got stories.
And so maybe he imagines himself having a British accent.
It's more distinguished.
It is more distinguished.
It's like that. Sorry, it's like that Doctor Who episode where it's the 11th Doctor, and he spends that time with James Corden, and he speaks baby. Baby's babbling, and the Doctor's like, yeah, well, of course, yes. And the James Corden's looking at him like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I'm talking to your baby. You speak baby? Of course I speak baby. Maybe Stewie's the only one that speaks baby.
See, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just thinking about the fact that, I've lived in my entire life here in Texas. So is my brother. But when he was younger, he had like an English brogue. And like people would literally ask my mom, "Is he yours?" For no reason, no clue. And I was just thinking maybe that's kind of a similar thing. But as for the understanding thing, yeah, I like the theory that maybe we were watching the show from his viewpoint.
The only other thing that I can think of is there is a condition where people have had a terrible, terrible headache, and they've fallen asleep, and then they wake up with an accent.
Yes,
that is a real
that's
scientific.
A real thing.
Really?
Yes. It's happened to people in America have woken up with English accents or French accents. People in England have woken up with Italian or French accents. There is an actual condition that this happens. So
that's interesting.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. I mean, not to have the headache, but get the accent.
Wake up and you just sound sexy. That'd be awesome,
right?
Yeah.
As long as it turned out sexy, though, like if you woke up and like had like a Klingon accent or something,
or
that
like
would be kind
Russian or something.
Yes,
yeah,
that
or German.
wouldn't quite work out so well.
No, that's not sexy.
It's not like you're chewing on your words more than saying them. So, no, that one's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything for that one really. I like the theory of seeing everything through Stewie's viewpoint, though.
Yeah.
So, because it would explain quite a few things, like how Brian is able to talk with everyone, and no other dog on that show can talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stewie knows him so well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to know that babies and dogs talk.
Oh, hell yeah.
Maybe babies and dogs can communicate.
Oh, for sure they can.
So, let's see here. So the next one I had was, this is a newer cartoon. And I've actually got several things. I've got several questions about this one. And I'm glad my boys have moved on to this cartoon because I actually enjoy watching it with them. And that is Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Because it's written smart enough that an adult can get some, they throw in a little bit of, I say adult humor, but you know what I'm talking about, adult humor in there that you're like, okay, that's kind of funny. But okay, so if you're not familiar with Phineas and Ferb, it's basically, first of all, is Ferb like is he a stepbrother? Or is he
he's adopted?
I think he's adopted.
I think he was adopted. Okay, adopted. That's what I thought. So
that's why.
Yes.
So there's these two brothers, and the whole story is they have 100. I should know this from the song. 100 and however many days vacation during the summer, and they're trying to figure out what to do. And every single day they're going to do something awesome. And they have an older sister that's always trying to, rat them out or whatever. And they end up building these really awesome things, they're like, hey, I know what we're going to do today. We're going to build, a nuclear powered submarine, or we're going to build, a rocket ship or whatever it is. These really fantastical things. And my question is where's the money coming from? Because they show the trucks show up. They show the trucks unloading the materials.
Mm-hmm.
But they purposely sign for it, and that's kind of a running joke in the show is that the person's like, aren't you a little young to own a nuclear reactor? And it's like, yes I am. And they just sign it and they go on about their business, and no one fucking questions it. And I'm just like, where's the money coming from?
Maybe I have a theory. So maybe it's like in Off to Be the Wizard, where they figured out how to hack the banks.
Ooh.
And tinker money like that, just enough where they don't get caught. And they've been doing this because they're clearly geniuses. So they've
they found the file.
They found the file.
I like that. That's a good idea. That one's not bad.
Yeah, where they've had make the most sense. That they've hacked the banking system and have maybe they've hacked a bank account, set up an anonymous bank account and
offshore's account.
Just drip money. Yeah, offshore bank account, just drip money into it.
I have a theory to this one, but it plays into one of my other questions. One of my other questions is, it seems like all of the animals are spies. Why? Obviously, Perry the Platypus is a spy because he shows up for work every day and turns into a spy. But it seems like anytime he needs a helping hand, like it's another animal, and they have the hat on as well, so they're a spy. So like an eagle will fly in and grab him, and it's got a hat on as well, or whatever else. So obviously, all these animals are also spies. But why? Why are we going with animals as spies? Like
easier to train.
Easier to train? We're going back to the Thomas theory on this.
Or maybe it's that they live in a universe where humans think they're the smartest, but it's actually all the animals are like, oh, good grief.
That could be.
Stupid humans. So
they're in the same universe or a similar universe to Hitchhiker's Guide, where
yeah.
With the mice, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if you've watched that episode of I think it was season 3. Because I don't know if they've had season 4. Season 3 of Rick and Morty. There's an episode where Morty wants a helmet so that he can listen to animals, and he's walking around and he's listening to all these animals talk, and he wanders upon these squirrels, and they're talking about world domination, and they can tell that he knows, and they're like, "Come here, little boy, we will give you some candy," and like all these squirrels show up, and Rick's like, "What the fuck were you doing, man? You don't mess with the squirrels. They control the universe." He's like, "Great, grab your shit. Now we have to relocate to another dimension." But going back to my first question, I thought maybe the same company or organization, whatever it is, that has all the money for all the spy equipment for Perry, maybe they're feeding the money. They're supplying the money for Phineas and Ferb to help design stuff for them.
Getting them.
I mean, they do try to watch out for his quote unquote, humans. So
yeah. Yeah. Did you see the film theory of Phineas and Ferb recently?
No.
All right. Well, go watch that one.
Okay.
I think you'll like that.
Okay, I'll have to go watch that.
Yeah. Just of where the inventions are coming from and why they don't arrest a particular villain every episode.
Oh,
that was the last question I have, and if they have an answer, I'd love it, because my other question is why the fuck haven't they just killed off Doofenshmirtz?
Yeah.
So I can't explain it nearly as well. So go watch the film theory on it.
All right.
He does a great job on explaining why he
survives every time,
and why he survives every time.
Well, can I say why?
Well, you can. It's just we can't explain it nearly as well.
No. That Doofenshmirtz actually works for the good guys.
Unknowingly.
Then why do they send Perry after him every episode?
Save his ass.
Because he saves his ass, and the other part of it is he, in his hat there is a replicating thing. So every time he comes, the Doofenshmirtz, whatever his name is,
Doofenshmirtz.
Every time he gets a new invention, his hat will actually scan the item and send the basic plans or whatever to the company, and so they can make all these things. And again, I can't explain it nearly as well.
I'm gonna have to go watch this. I may have to watch this like after the fucking show.
Go watch it because it explains it. And I'm like, yep. Totally makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to watch it. Like I said, I love watching the show with the boys. In fact, when they've gone back to watching some of these other shows that they watch, I'm just like, oh, can we go back to Phineas and Ferb? It's I can actually enjoy it. So
I like Johnny Test too. That's a good one.
Johnny Test is awesome.
Yeah.
They haven't discovered that one yet, but it's on the old Netflix there, so they may find it here eventually.
Yeah, just the theme song.
Just the theme song. Right now, Nicholas has discovered Teen Titans Go, and I'm just like, okay.
Oh, that's one of Quinn's favorite shows. I don't know how many times he's watched each episode. He loves that show.
So, all right, Ray, what's your next cartoon logic?
I want to go back to South Park for a minute.
Okay.
Why do Canadians have flappy heads?
Yeah, what's up with that?
How? Like
Is
completely
anyone else from any other country?
Because they're not even a real country anyway.
Oh, that's
apparently.
Right. We live in a magical land.
Yes. Where our heads can be detached from their bodies. It doesn't matter.
The English aren't like that. The French aren't like that, I don't think.
So the only thing I can think of is that it's been bred into the Canadians. Like it's Slowly we have evolved into this flappy head. But that's the only thing I could come up with.
Clearly.
Just so that when we are going over to Europe, we can differentiate ourselves from Americans.
We are not with them.
Oh, you're Canadian. You got a flappy head. You're good.
You're fine.
That's a good point.
That is a very good point.
Sorry. I had to. Sean gets it.
Real quick, Cyrus is asking, he's just wondering, do Smurfs ever mix up the things that they say? Like, why did you kill that dude? I told you to smurf him. I did smurf him. You told me to smurf him. No, I told you to smurf him, not smurf him.
I like that one.
What the smurf have you done?
Yes.
For Smurf's sakes.
That's a good one.
I like that one.
Now that you say that, I almost think maybe I should just start using that instead of cursing all the time. That would actually be pretty funny. You mother smurfer. All right, Chris, what's the next one you have?
I have... Okay, so in Looney Tunes cartoons.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All the holes are portable. At any
yes.
And gravity doesn't work until you look down, and usually only works for the bad guys.
True.
Why?
All right, so the first things first.
But
yes, the whole...
Why are the holes portable?
Oh, don't go to that yet. We got to figure out the other one first.
Oh, no, I was going to start with the holes.
The holes? Okay,
yeah. Why are the holes
I was going to say... Maybe they're not actually holes. Maybe they're portals, like from Portal. Because you're able, in some cases, they're able to put a hole here and put a hole on the wall, and whatever falls in comes out.
Yeah.
Like in the game Portal. So I'm thinking they're more like portals.
Okay,
and Bugs Bunny has just picked up a hole and like moved it, set it down.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is it's only...
It's a two-dimensional object.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, a hole appears.
It's a four-dimensional object. Maybe that's what it is. It's a four-dimensional object.
Oh, yeah.
And this is why they can pick it up and move it in 3 dimensions. And it only looks like a hole, but it's actually a fourth-dimensional object.
It would have to be. It'd have to have some kind of a... And how does it picking up and flinging? It's the thing, though. Like, my theory worked out until you pointed out the fact that you can pick it up and fling it.
Yeah, he can move it.
I don't know. I'm stumped on that one. Fourth dimension is about the only thing sounds like it fits.
Yeah, fourth or fifth dimension somehow, but fourth dimension object makes more sense because then you could have multiple. I don't know. That's.
Good.
It may be. You know what? It could be just something that the Acme company created.
And it just is.
And it just is. Yeah.
Just is. There's a lot of shit that company makes that I just don't know about.
Random anvils.
Going back to funding, where the fuck is all this money coming from for the Coyote? Like, he lives out in the fucking desert. He doesn't have a job that I can tell of.
He's got really good credit.
No, he has sold stuff to Acme, and he's independently wealthy.
Oh, there you go. He's invented all this stuff, and now that he just buys it from...
He's sold the patents and stuff.
So why then? Is this just a bloodlust after the Roadrunner? Like, obviously if he's got money, why didn't the fuck he just go eat something?
What else is he gonna do?
Well, that's true. I mean, yeah.
Aren't most...
If you're bored and you've got all the intelligence
shit ton of money, it's not like you're gonna get the one that tries it, because this is the other part. Why do the paintings work for the Roadrunner? But
it's got to be the same thing.
Yeah, because Acme did it.
It's got to be.
Acme continues to. Okay, there we go. So Acme actually continues to allow the Roadrunner to get away by doing this, so that Wile E. Coyote continues the invention, so that they can continue to sell those inventions to other people.
Yeah, maybe that's how he tests his products.
I'll go with it.
The gravity thing. Explain the gravity. Why?
All right.
Why gravity doesn't work until you look down?
Because it's a flat Earth.
I'm about to just call it and say, yep, done.
Obviously.
I'm good.
Flat Earth. Oh my god. I can't wait for the I can't wait for that to show up in the chat room. I want to see the reaction on that one. Jesus.
Good one, babe.
I don't know. I don't know. This is hard. This is hurting.
Well, if it's a flat Earth, there's no gravity, right? It's only the ground. So if you're running and you don't really realize it, you're fine because it's flat Earth.
Yeah.
But as soon as you look down, you realize, oh shit, I'm gonna fall. Then reality kicks in and you fall because it's not flat Earth. It's actually a globe.
Because science.
Because science.
So as long as you believe that it's a flat Earth, you're good.
So your mind makes its own reality.
Yes, which has been proven. Beta particles and
We're getting deep.
Yeah.
If the whole photons actually have mass and there's a whole test of that, and yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff out there.
I'm just gonna leave it at flat Earth. I like that too much.
I'm satisfied with that.
All right.
Okay. Flat Earth.
Apparently, this episode is very Smurfy.
You're welcome.
Jen, what's your next one?
Well, you kind of touched on this with another show, but Dexter's Lab. He always had unlimited funding for his crazy things, but also my problem was how did his parents never catch on that he was building, all these things.
Yeah, never know.
Yeah. And then, his sister, whatever with her, but
whatever with her.
She was just ridiculous.
I've never really watched the show.
No, but could it be that they're actually made all of cardboard? And once again, we're seeing from that child's perspective of it's the real thing, even though it's his adventure. And so it's actually the kid, the parents are fine because they're like, yeah, it's just cardboard.
Yeah.
It's true.
Kind of like the effect that Phineas and Ferb's mom has is that, they're just playing with them. Yeah, of course they're playing with a monster truck. Why are you telling me this? They're obviously playing with a monster truck. It's this size. She doesn't see the real one. So
that's right.
A little bit of that effect. No, that kind of makes sense. Or actually, I should say that's more like the Stewie effect.
Yeah.
Stewie effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that word. It's the Stewie effect.
The Stewie effect. We're going to start fucking naming shit and people are going to be like, what are you talking about?
Write that down.
Stewie effect.
The Stewie effect. Put on a t-shirt.
Was there, I used to like Dexter's Lab. Was there anything else in that show that used to drive me insane? I don't remember.
I know the sister breaks into the lab all the time. So I saw this research. So why can Dexter create all of this incredible technology, but he can't create a security system to keep his sister out?
True.
Yeah.
His sister's part of his imagination.
No, because she's Brittany S. Pierce. She's so dumb, she's a genius.
Oh, there you go.
I'll go with it. I'll allow it.
Sure.
I had one more, and I know I told everyone 2 to 3. I had one more, so if y'all have any more, and chat room, if y'all have any that y'all would like us to discuss, by all means, put them up there. So, the last one I had, and there are actually several facets to this, and Lainey actually was over last night and brought this one up, and I was like, oh, that's a good one. Animaniacs.
Yeah.
How old are they?
Ah.
Because they seem very childlike, but they've
don't.
obviously hit puberty because hello, nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the questions that we had were, number one, how old are they actually?
14, 12, and 10.
Yeah. How did they survive, or how do they survive in the tower constantly? And is this technically kidnapping? Like, I mean, they're locked in a tower, and yes, they messed a bunch of stuff up at the on the Warner Brothers at the studio, but where are their rights? Like, who the fuck is? Everyone's just like, no, just lock them up every single time. Put them back in the tower.
Yeah. How old are they? Well, there are forms of dwarfism that can make adults look very childlike.
Yes, that's
True.
So maybe they have a form of dwarfism. And they're really adults.
Hello, nurse.
That's why they're hello nursing.
True.
That's all. I don't know about the other one.
How do they survive? Yeah, I mean, granted, I was going to say, well,
whatever they want.
Yeah, it's not like they're.
No, true.
So that's how they survive.
I mean, they got baloney in their pants, so.
Maybe they're insane. And they keep escaping the asylum. Or an institution or something. Maybe that's the tower. The psychiatric.
Well, they are maniacs, right? So.
True. The main thing that bothered me was their age. I'm just like, how old are they? Because, like I said, they're presented as being kids, but.
Yes.
Hang on, because Animaniacs that also has
Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky the Brain.
Maybe Pinky is actually multiple personalities, and those are just 3 of the personalities.
So you think maybe the rest of the universe is just his?
Just Pinky.
Just in his brain, because that's why he's the brain.
Just brain.
Interesting.
Multiple personalities.
And he chose 3 weird.
Well, he has the entire universe in his head, and that's why he's known as the brain.
I don't know.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there.
Y'all still agree? But I mean, the kidnapping thing. Come on, like seriously, someone needs to fucking show up on the lot and call a lawyer.
Maybe they're because I just watched this. Maybe they're like a drain on society, and they're okay with them being kidnapped. There's a murder that happened in the 80s. It was in the 80s, and yeah, this guy, 60 people witnessed this guy get shot, and nobody called it in. And
wow, really?
Yes, it's actually a really interesting one. It's on BuzzFeed Blue if you ever get a chance to watch it. Really interesting how bad this guy was and how he just ruined the town, and everybody just walked away saying nothing. So maybe that's what it's like. Maybe that's what it's like.
Okay, I'll go with it. So, did anyone else have any other ones they wanted to talk about?
I had a couple.
Yeah, what you got?
So for The Simpsons, do Bart and Lisa actually have hair, or are their skulls that shape?
Because we've seen both.
Which one is it?
They can get their hair cut.
But then you've seen them as skeletons, and their hair and their skeletons are shaped like their hair. Or is that just inconsistent writing, and we really shouldn't bother?
I do have a theory.
Go.
So my theory is that
because I'm kind of stump on this one.
So my theory is that their skull looks like that, and each individual hair actually has a piece of skull that sticks up into it. But so when they cut it, the bone is so thin that it actually cuts, but
it grows back.
It can grow back. So maybe they've got some form of. Well, I mean, how many times has Bart broken an arm or whatever, and they can grow back? I don't know of anybody. Only one person is missing a limb.
That's the ship's captain.
No. Oh, he's missing a leg.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's 3 people that are missing limbs.
Oh, the army store guy.
The army store guy is missing a leg.
Captain
is missing. Yeah, he's missing a leg. And then Jasper is missing his leg as well.
Oh, yeah.
Who shot who in the what now?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, but here's the thing, though. We've seen episodes, though, where, like, Bart has combed his hair down or, in a certain way or whatever. So that's a good point. The whole thing about the seeing the skull that way, though.
Is it cartilage?
Is it cartilage? You can't cut cartilage like that, though.
Without bleeding out, yeah.
Incredibly painful. And then they had the episode where Marge had saved all of their hair clippings.
Oh, yeah.
And they made, like, new wigs for the kids because they...
Just throwing it out there. Is it only in the Treehouse of Horrors that we've seen their skulls?
I don't know.
I think so.
Well, that could obviously be an alternate universe. That obviously has to be an alternate universe.
Oh, there you go.
That's a good point. We're gonna. I think that's acceptable. So.
Okay. And then I had something.
Yes, Sean was right. Sorry, Sean just sent me a message. the captain also has 2 glass eyes. I forgot about that.
Oh.
I forgot about that too.
Thanks, buddy.
And then I had some for SpongeBob. Drowning fish. There's a picture of them There's some fish drowning in a lake. They also have rain and puddles in the sea.
Uh-huh.
And then he lives in a perfectly preserved pineapple under the sea. That doesn't make any sense either.
Someone, I think, in the chat room brought up that there's also fire underwater.
Yes, fire underwater too. Patrick and him have a campfire.
Fire underwater has been explained through magnesium. Somehow the trees are infused with magnesium, and magnesium can burn underwater. So that part's been figured out.
Well, that's convenient, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Hey, it works for Mario.
That's right. That's right.
Good point.
So that's that part. The part about the puddles and all that stuff, we do know that certain concentrations of water that doesn't have salt will go to a different level compared to the salt water of the ocean. So we could actually start explaining it through different salt
But at the bottom of the sea?
It rained a lot.
Why is there rain under the sea?
Under the sea.
Because it rained a lot from above, and whatever water this is, maybe it's heavy water, right, Sean? Could be heavy water.
It could be heavy water.
That is a true thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of underwater rivers. So
yes.
All right.
Okay.
So we got magnesium. We have differences in types of water. The pineapple.
What's up with the pineapple?
Yeah, that one I don't have.
Unless it's ceramic. Is it maybe ceramic?
Maybe it's fake. I just thought of that. That would make more sense if it was
That would
fake.
make more sense.
Because the captain just say it's a pineapple under the sea. He doesn't say it's a real one or not.
That's true.
So.
Good point.
Just saying.
Okay.
Nothing about that show really follows logic, though.
True. Sai wants to know, why does every member of G.I. Joe wear a different uniform? My theory is because they're fucking badasses, and that's the way that like people like, they're all supposed to be their own person. So it's like, fuck it. It's not, because otherwise, you wouldn't look cool. That's the main thing. You got to look cool.
Just wouldn't.
Goes back to the Ninja Turtles. They just want.
Yeah.
It's a fashion statement.
Yeah.
I'm looking here. Let's see here. Let's see. Looking for your smart. They're still on that.
I've got one more.
What's that?
In The Little Mermaid, she loses her voice. So why doesn't she write? When she gets.
She doesn't.
She signs her name.
Right.
She does, doesn't she?
She tries to use all these dumb signs and the animals and whatever.
She has very lovely penmanship if you see that.
Maybe
I thought maybe she was like, oh yeah, damn, you just blew my mind.
Illiterate. Maybe she did try, and we was off camera, and he's just illiterate.
He's illiterate. The prince is illiterate.
He is not the smartest guy. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
Most of those princes in Disney are.
They all read like everybody else read to him, and yeah.
I would love to see the director's cut where she's constantly writing stuff down and getting pissed off and like grunting and like going like this on the paper, and he's just like, "You're very pretty."
Girls get right. Come on.
Yeah.
But speaking of the Little Mermaid, definitely go, if you haven't watched, go watch the Honest trailer on the Little Mermaid. That one is.
Honest trailers.
Oh yeah.
That one is hilarious.
Makes you rethink that movie.
Sai says maybe she's just stupid. Legitimate answer. I mean,
she figured she couldn't speak, she couldn't write. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she did agree to like give her voice up for a week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and she is 16, and we all know how logical 16-year-olds are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
Daddy, I love him.
You've never even talked to him, bitch.
I sang to him. He knew.
He knew. And I knew. We both knew. We were meant to be.
Yeah.
Does she have webbed fingers? Good question. I don't think so. They look pretty normal to me. So. Oh, this is a good question. Sean brings this one up. Her dad uses a trident as a weapon, but she assumes a fork is a comb.
The dingle hopper.
I'm going to say this and it won't make sense right now. I'll bring it up. But Sean's a cheater. And he called me out, so I'm going to call him out. But anyway.
Okay.
Long story. He'll know what it means.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
Yes.
Well, I didn't have any other ones. I mean, there are some other random things that have come up on shows, mostly stuff that we've kind of covered. So
I've got a couple more if that's okay.
Oh, okay. What you got?
Yeah. So the weird strength. So Zazu from Lion King is able to lift a rhino up over his head.
In one of the songs,
right? So he's lifted it up over his head. But he can't pick up a lion cub afterwards to save the lion cub at all. From all the
true,
the buffaloes coming after him. Like seriously, can't pick up a fucking lion.
Nope.
After
he also wasn't able to open Scar's jaw whenever Scar, scarfed him up.
Should have just thrown Scar away. Like,
yeah, exactly. Fuck, if he was that strong, he should have been head of the pride.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, that was that one. I've never been to Albuquerque. Why is it so hard to make a right turn on Albuquerque? Why is Bugs Bunny always makes a wrong turn at Albuquerque?
I should have made a left at Albuquerque.
I've never been now. Is it really confusing to drive through? Because
I don't know. That's a good question, though. I've never been to it either. I just thought of another one that I was pondering earlier. Why is it all the smart animals in the Flintstones get stuck with shitty jobs, but the animals that can't talk are just pets? Like Dino can't talk and he's just a pet and goes on, being happy. But all the other animals, they're like stuck doing other stuff. And of course, every so often they look at the camera and like, oh, it's a living. And it's just like,
that's right. Then, the dicta bird, it's a living.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, it's like, maybe are they trying to teach us, ignorance is bliss? Like,
yes, that's messed up.
Yeah.
This is there's plenty examples of this one, but not being able to escape a cage that's too big,
or like the bars are wider than the
yep.
Or their cuffs are way too big, but they somehow just. So the only theory that I came up with that one was hypnosis, right? So they've all been hypnotized that if we put you in a cage, you can't escape.
You can't escape, yeah.
The only other thing Albuquerque I brought up. So the only other one would be the Powerpuff Girls. How the fuck do the Powerpuff Girls use anything?
Yeah, because apparently they have no fingers or anything. It's just
they play rock, paper, scissors. They use chopsticks. They.
Does the the doctor has fingers, right?
I don't know.
Yes, because I've seen him pointing and stuff. You're right. Why would you make the girls without fingers? It's just these little
nubbins.
Yeah,
they're nubbins.
Well, yeah, nubbins. That's a good word. Nubbins.
So if that's the case, that's fine. But at least explain how they're using
their nubbins.
Yeah, they can. Maybe they're magical. Maybe.
They are Powerpuff Girls.
They are Powerpuff Girls.
Sean's asking, how come no one can see that Prince Adam and He-Man are the same guy? Good question, because the same thing goes for fucking Superman and Clark Kent.
That always drove me crazy. As soon as Superman put the glasses on, he became like unrecognizable to everybody.
Exactly. Yeah.
Always pissed me off.
But I mean, that's not even the thing with Adam and He-Man. Like literally, it's just a swap of clothing. Like the hair's the same, the face is the same. Nothing changes.
Nothing changes except for the clothing. That's it.
My only theory on that one is, I mean, he is saving everyone. He is the savior of the universe. Maybe that's why Tila gets so pissed off at him, because everyone has like this standing agreement. They're like, look, We all know who he fucking is.
Yes.
We're just
let him have this.
Yes.
Just let him have this. Okay, guys? Like,
he really likes this pink thing to wear. He likes to pretend he's somebody else.
Exactly. Yeah. It's his thing. Whatever. I mean, he keeps saving us, so just roll with it. I mean, come on.
That's good. I like that one.
That's the only thing that makes sense. Why would you not? Yeah. He said it's bugged him since he was a kid. Yeah, it bugged me too. It's like, really?
Yeah.
I'm good with that explanation. They're all just going along with it. Yeah.
And that's why, and like I said, that's why Tila gets so pissed off, because she knows, but she wants to say something so bad. She just fucking wants to go off on him, but she can't because
the rule is you don't.
That's the rule is, yeah.
Well, he's at him now.
Yeah.
Shh. Yes.
I mean, he's really not the smartest guy. I mean, he clearly could have killed, the Masters of the Universe multiple times over and been done with it, but
he got hit in the head too many times.
Exactly. Yeah.
Injury and concussed.
Okay, here's another question Ryan's asking. When Underdog takes the pill, is he really flying or is he tripping from the truck?
He's tripping out, man.
He's just tripping.
He is tripping out hard.
That's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious. I completely forgot about Underdog.
Like in the movie Underdog?
No, in the comics, I think he actually takes, there's
a pill and oh my God, that's hilarious.
That's fine.
Yeah. We're going to definitely say tripping. He's definitely tripping on that one. So, well, does anyone have any other ones or are we going to call it on that one?
I'm done.
All right. Jen? Oh, there she is. Okay. I thought maybe we lost you and we're like, oh crap, Jen's been gone.
She's been gone for like the last half hour.
I don't know. She's like, hello.
That's happened. Damn.
I know it's happened and I'm sorry. All right, well, let's move on to our picks and pans. Does anyone want to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, what you got for us, Chris?
Okay, so my picks are, we saw Black Panther last Friday. It was super duper good.
I still haven't seen it yet. 2
thumbs up. Ray took the kids and our nephew to see it today, and they liked it. They really liked it. Logan wasn't sure. She thought it was going to be boring, but she liked it. She liked Black Panther's sister. She thought she was pretty cool.
And her favorite part, and I won't say anything other than, was the last end scene. Credit.
Yes.
And that's
you have to stay to the very end.
Duh.
Yeah.
So I put a good picture up there. It was a Facebook on the back channel. Just people leaving early. They're leaving the whole thing early, and it's a gif of a guy going like, "Why are you leaving? There's still more."
We went with friends, and they all left.
Yep.
All left.
We stayed.
They're like, "Are you staying?" We're like, "Yeah, we're staying." Like, why would you? We have to stay.
Who doesn't stay during a Marvel movie?
They didn't. They all. We were with 2 other couples, and they both left. And we're like, "Well, fuck it, we're staying."
That's right.
We did. We stayed. And then my other.
It's not over until the 2nd or 3rd Easter egg.
Exactly. And then my second pick is the Stranger Things game.
Yes, we did get it, by the way.
So is it fun? Are you having fun with it?
Ray hasn't played it yet, but I played it with the kids a couple of times. It's actually, I know it says 14 plus or something like that, but it's really good.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's
nice.
It's like Uno. And then they have a barb card, which I love the barb card.
Barb card?
There's a barb card.
There's a barb card. But it's really fun to play. It's super easy to play. And then I have a pan.
Okay.
Which is fault, Eugene. The reboot trailer.
Oh.
We watched that. I'm like, that's bullshit. That was like, I'm so disappointed that they actually let that happen. It is, I have a lot of words. They won't come out coherently. It was so disappointing. We've been hearing about this, reboot for years, hoping it would come because it was such a good show. But it was such a good show for a specific reason. And now what they've done is they've tried to go with what's popular with Power Rangers and Voltron and try to completely reimagine it. It's like, no, you screwed it up. Because what made it good was because it was kind of like
it was the computer against humans. Like,
not even that big.
No, but that was the part that I loved. I loved that the humans were the bad people.
Yeah, but it was also like toys in that what happens in the computer when you shut it off. Like,
yeah.
Kind of like an imagination thing, like, oh, there's people in there and all, they have lives and everything, and that's what made it really cool. And now they've just sort of, and it's live action. It's
live action mixed
awful.
with, I don't know.
It's just really, it's unfortunate that they did that because we love the series, and
I will give it a shot on the first episode when I see it.
But that's where I am with it. I'm like, I'm gonna give it a shot and just see. Maybe it's more than what it's advertising to be. I'm hoping
so, because I was so disappointed because and it's also really popular right now to reboot old series like Fuller House. You've got Roseanne coming back. You have Will and Grace did a spot. All these shows. The only show, but what makes them good and what makes the fans so happy is that it's just a carry on from the old series.
It's not a reinvention.
No, they're picking up where they left off. All these characters, what are they doing 10 years later or whatever? And another good example is Degrassi High. And all they keep doing with Degrassi High is what makes it so good is that these kids, they actually age appropriately and they graduate and then a new cast comes in and that's what makes it good is because this formula is fantastic. So that reboot fucked.
Yeah, I wasn't really pleased with the whole making humans the new Guardians and like that just doesn't make any sense to me. So
yeah,
it's crap.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, I'm gonna have to show this to the Canadians.
Yeah, glad you did.
Sorry to ruin your day. Ray, do you have a pick or pan for us?
So pick was obviously Black Panther. I really enjoyed it. I don't know how Marvel keeps hitting these out of the park, but they are, and I love it. And I want Wakanda to be a real place.
Listen, wouldn't that be awesome?
Wakanda forever.
Yeah. I'd move there. So that being said, the other pick that I have is the Olympics right now. We have watched a few things live, and we're sitting with 29 medals right now for Canada. We're kicking ass there. Loving that part. I feel bad for the women's hockey. I said it before the game actually happened for the gold medal. I hate shootouts. I hate them. That's not any way to end a game, in my opinion. However, my hat is off to the Americans. They played really well.
Yeah, they hadn't won gold in 20 years.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So good on you guys.
About that.
Mm-hmm. So that was really cool. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing that I was going to say was the men's hockey. I've actually am enjoying watching this without. It's good for the game without the NHL players there, because it
makes it more even.
Well,
all the
it's not just even, but now you don't know who's going to be in the gold medal. So we've got Germany playing for a gold medal right now in hockey, and that's fantastic. And that's the way you build a game, and allowing other people to have a shot like that. So. That's just my opinion.
We won bronze, though.
Yeah, we did win bronze, which is awesome. But that's just my kind of take on it. So
very cool. Jennifer, do you have a pick or pan for the week?
Well, obviously Black Panther.
And am I the only one?
Yeah, you need to get with it, dude. I went Thursday night. Did it open?
We'll start spoilers here in 10 seconds.
You need to just put on your earmuffs. So yeah, that, and this didn't happen like in the last week, but since we last talked, I booked my travel to go to New York City over Easter weekend to see a friend and hopefully lots of Broadway shows. So I'm super excited about that.
Nice.
Try and hit Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, I'm going to try to see some of those shows, but I know that a lot of them book out way far and you gotta stand in line forever if you can get a ticket. So we'll see. I'm only going for like 3 or 4 days, so I won't get too much done, but other than that, I'm excited about a lot of the travel I have coming up, and I I went camping last weekend, which was fun, and I went by myself and
cool.
survived. So that's a big
Yay!
Always a good thing.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Sheesh.
Yeah, no, right?
She survived.
She survived. Spoiler alert, I survived. I have 2 picks for the week. The first one is I got a new board game and we played it. My boys had their 6th birthday party, which was a ton of fun. And then had family over. And so I got this new board game. And that night, it was me and my brother and my dad. And my wife's brother, Dylan, who actually just got engaged. So awesome. And his fiance, and we love her to death. We love Amber. So we were playing board games. And I was like, hey, I got this new board game I've been telling you about. Let's play it. It's called Sheriff of Nottingham. And it is a bluffing game. And I felt horrible everyone had a blast playing it. But I felt horrible for my brother-in-law because, like most men, he can't lie to his significant other. And so anytime, because there's a specific point in the game, like every round, what you're trying to do is you take turns being the sheriff, and you're trying to smuggle either normal goods in or contraband, but you have to tell them roughly what is in the bag that you're trying to smuggle in. And every time, and it says in the rules, you have to look that person in the eye. He would look at her and goes, I have 4 bread, and it would just break up. And she's like, no, you're not. You're fucking lying to me. What I thought was hilarious, though, is at one point, Christy and Lainey are in the kitchen, and they're kind of watching us play. And they look at me, and they're like, oh, he's obviously lying. He's obviously lying. And I wasn't. I was playing, because when I play games like this, I get very erratic with my facial features, and so I don't have a tell in that case. And we had so much fun. Well, my brother-in-law stepped out for the next game. He's like, I'm not doing well. I'm gonna step out. Well, Lainey steps in. She's a horrible liar too.
Oh, poor Lainey.
But it was a ton of fun, because in the game, not only are you trying to lie to the sheriff, but you can bribe the sheriff to go ahead and either let you in. But you can also bribe the sheriff to do other things, like, tell you what, Sheriff, I'll go ahead and give you $5 if you go ahead and check his bag for me, because I think he's lying. And so there was a lot of that crap going on. And I mean, it was so much fun. We had a blast playing that game. And then my other pick actually happened just last night. Netflix released, I don't even remember what it's called, but the new, oh crap! I knew I should have written this down. Cloverfield, the new Cloverfield movie, right after, right after the Super Bowl, and I want to watch it, but I'm like, no, I still haven't seen 10 Cloverfield Lane. So that's what I did last night. Is I watched 10 Cloverfield Lane.
I haven't watched it either. Is it worth the watch? It's
definitely worth the watch. What's interesting is I actually met the director back when he was a podcaster. I went to an event in Austin and actually got to meet him and talk to him and stuff. And I mean, he's a geek through and through. Man, it's really well done. And I understand why people were saying John Goodman should have been nominated for his role in that, because he is, I don't want to give anything away, but he's very good. I mean, I've always thought he was a good actor, but he really shines in this movie. So, if you haven't seen 10 Cloverfield Lane, definitely check it out. And so now I can go watch the new one, whichever, I can't remember what it's called, but what?
Paradox.
That's, yeah. So I'm excited about that.
Apparently, if you watch them all at the same time, like if you watch the first one and this one at the same time, there's certain things that line up. I was checking into it, because the monsters that you see in 10 Cloverfield Lane do not look anything like the monsters in the other one. So I was looking it up. I'm like, is this an anthology series? But everyone's not sure. They're like, it's kind of an anthology, which I love that idea of when you get a Cloverfield movie, it's literally going to be, hey, there are going to be aliens in here, but you don't know exactly what's happening. And I love that idea, but apparently they do link up in some ways. So yeah, and I don't know what it is. I was told that if you watch them, like, so on the computer, play one and watch the other one on the TV, and as they play through, they actually line up. So
And then the other joke, the fact that they're literally like everyone kind of heard about it and then heard Netflix was getting it, and it was literally like, oh, by the way, we're releasing it right after the big game,
right now.
Yeah, a lot of the other jokes I've seen were like Cloverfield 4 is going to like just drop out of like nowhere, and Cloverfield 5 is literally going to be J.J. Abrams driving by your house and throwing the disc through your window. And I'm just like, all right, I'm down for it. So, but yeah, definitely, if you haven't checked out 10 Cloverfield Lane, definitely check that out. So,
the sixth one, by the way, is the Spaceballs version where you're just watching it live.
They literally are just doing it. It's like just literally watching it live on YouTube. So yeah, that's hilarious. And then I heard, I remember it was another podcast or something. They said, yeah, like by the time they get to like 14, like every movie is Cloverfield. You just don't, every fucking movie you watch, you're just like, oh shit, this was a Cloverfield.
Star Wars Cloverfield crossover.
Yeah. Well, that is our show for the week, ladies and gentlemen. As always, if you would please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Music. It really does help us get the word out, let other people know about the show. You can follow us on Epically Geeky on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm trying to get better about posting when the shows are coming out and information's on the show so we can build more people in the live chat. We love having them in the live chat. I'm going to have to go back and read it because it takes on its own life and it's always a lot of fun. So, and then of course you can check us out at epicallygeeky.com. Where can we find you on the internet? Ray.
Lake Life Artist on Instagram. That's, I haven't posted for a while, but someday.
I haven't been
Twitter. I am on Twitter as well now. That's right. Lake Life Artist on Twitter. I'm trying it out. I'm not a fan of Twitter, but I understand it's something that, we try it.
I'm trying to become a bigger fan. I used to be a big proponent of Twitter and hated Facebook, and I've kind of switched. And for promoting the site, I need to switch back because Twitter is still a fire hose. And if you follow someone, you're going to get all the people, everything from it. And Facebook is basically, hey, everyone said they want to see your stuff. We need you to pay us money so they can see it. And I'm just like, fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Lake Life Artist on Twitter as well. I do have another one, which is Couch to Gearhead. That was a long story on that one, but anyway, that was back when I wanted to be a gearhead. I wanted to get into working on cars a lot more than what I do now. And the whole Couch to 5K thing, I went Couch to Gearhead and blah blah blah. So anyway, it's there as well. I've got some stuff on that one, but I'm trying to use the Lake Life Artist more. So nice, Chris. We can find you at Epically Geeky and on our shows.
Well, I kind of decided to dip my toe back into social media.
Just
a skosh.
Okay.
I'm off Facebook, so sorry about that. I have an Instagram account. It's the same as before, only a little different. It's the.lake.life, but it's just strictly environmental. I want to focus a lot more on our minimalism and our DIY projects that we do here. Mm-hmm. So we're coming up on doing our kitchen. So I thought it would be neat to post the sort of our minimalist, earth-friendly, I guess, renovation
as much as possible.
Yes,
right?
That's that we do ourselves
within reason.
Yeah, there's some stuff we can't, but we've renovated. This is our third house, so we've got some tips and tricks and stuff that we've kind of gathered over our years of renovating houses. That
we're still learning.
Yeah, we're still learning, but I thought would be kind of cool to document. So
very cool.
That's that.
Well,
that's it.
That's it. Jen, where can we find you online?
Instagram and Twitter at Het's Gonna Be Me.
And you can find my individual wacky adventure online at Optimus Gene on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For everyone on the site, have a good night.